Hi, everyone, and greetings on this Wednesday. I do not think that I need to remind everyone of today's date, as it has been recognized across this nation throughout the morning and the rest of the day. Individuals stopping in their tracks or their hearts or their minds to recall, of course, where they were and honor those who lost their lives on this day years ago. Members of the families of those who were killed gathered this morning, as they do annually at this time, at the National September 11th Memorial and Museum, of course, on the site of the former World Trade Center in New York, while the names of the victims were read aloud to the crowds in attendance. A solemn remembrance now honored for the 18th year, as hard as that is to imagine, while others, those being other individuals in other states, held various types of ceremonies, while individuals may have just done so on their own, marking the day with a moment of silence at 8:46 this morning, or just stopping for a moment for a bit of reflection on where they were at that awful moment in time and how it has affected all of us for all of our lives. I do as I want to, as I think I referred to a moment ago, want to give you a heads up now instead of towards the latter part of the program, as I usually do on Wednesdays, about what's coming up in tomorrow's edition of the Sagersville Independent. Of course, the sheriff's audits, which were released officially and made public this past Monday by Kentucky State Auditor Mike Harmon's office, have been still given a thorough going over here in the studio, and tomorrow we'll have our first report on those in tomorrow's paper. Our editor Heather Oney has been working pretty much throughout the entire week to go over several audits, several hundreds of pages in their entirety, and tomorrow a summarization of those audits will be in tomorrow's paper. That will be one of the main focus points of the paper, but certainly not the only one. It's a big paper tomorrow. It's going to take you twice as long to get through this one. Not do we just have the report on the audit, but also just a few other things. A special report on Jerry Patrick, the passing of the McGoffin County superfan, as well as going back to the Hornet football team of 1995 in our historical page in sports. A lot of great reads, including a McGoffin County high school student leading the state in tackles, and that's just a very, very brief list of all the things in tomorrow's paper. We hope you get one as soon as possible and give it a very good read as always. With that said, headlines on my show tonight will include an arrest last night of a former city councilman, the Main Street meeting, their fall conference held here in Sagersville yesterday, as well as the Paintsville City Council voting to set property and tax rates, property tax and other rates for the upcoming fiscal year. Some discussion, recommendation made by the mayor on 2 counts. We'll see if those recommendations were followed. So all that happening in just a few seconds. I have one announcement before I go any further and we get into our headlines. I just got this today, and I know what folks here under this roof are going to be eating tomorrow, as the McGoffin County senior citizens are having a chicken and dumpling fundraising dinner tomorrow. This is from 11 in the morning until they sell out, so you want to call as soon as possible, 349-5152, to place your orders. But they're having chicken and dumplings, green beans, coleslaw, cornbread, and peach cobbler for $7, starting at 11 o'clock in the morning at the McGoffin County Senior Citizen Center. So call, place your order, let them know what time you're going to pick it up. And if you want an evening meal to take home, all you have to do is let them know, and they'll know what time to cook. They plan to cook in intervals based on the order times, and this fundraiser helps replace some of the office equipment that was damaged by a lightning strike just this past August. So tomorrow starting at 11, 349-5152. Very early this morning, a former Paintsville City councilman and marijuana advocate was arrested coming through Sagersville around 3 o'clock with a large amount of marijuana discovered by Sagersville police in the trunk of his car. An arrest citation indicates that around 3:08 a.m. last night on the Mountain Parkway, Sagersville police officer Mike Nichols stopped a vehicle for a traffic violation, and upon approaching that car, smelled a strong odor of marijuana, to which he found behind the wheel Justin M. Lewandowski, 40, of Paintsville, who admitted after questioning by the officer to smoking marijuana prior to the traffic stop. There was also a subsequent search of Lewandowski's vehicle, during which Officer Nichols found an approximate half pound of marijuana in the trunk of Lewandowski's car. He was charged with driving under the influence, possession of marijuana, and his rear license plate not illuminated, and taken to the Big Sandy jail, where he was later released on his own recognizance without posting any bail a short time later. Lewandowski was elected to serve on the Paintsville City Council beginning in 2017. Just a few months later, in April, he organized a medical marijuana town hall in Paintsville and resigned just a few months later, just a few months into his 2-year term. Coming up next, this is a good one because for even myself, it's a reminder, or maybe for the first time you're hearing it, about what the Main Street program does. It was Renaissance Main Street, and now it's just the Main Street program. We still refer to it as the Renaissance Building and Program, but Main Street is a big part of Kentucky, and yesterday they held their annual fall conference here in Sayersville. Dozens of Main Streeters, if you will, from all over the state were here, bringing with them and looking for, at the same time, new ideas on how to revitalize downtowns across our beautiful state. That story is next. Never seen what's inside the seasonal shop, you've never seen anything like it. And if you have seen what's inside the seasonal shop, you've never seen it like this. From all the styles of pillows, dishware, bedding, and wall hangings, it's full of beautiful home decor. And there are frames for anyone and any occasion. There are neat and unique ways to design and do it yourself. There are flowers too perfect to be real. And from expecting moms to newborns, toddlers, teens, and adults, the fashions and designs and jewelry are simply endless and always changing at Fraser's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop.
Appalachian Wireless has a question for you. Would you rather pay $650 or $66 for a smartphone? If you think this answer is simple, then the Appalachian Advantage plan is for you. Pay less upfront for today's hottest smartphones, and then pay just a few dollars more every month on the monthly bill. Many smartphones are $5 a month or less after you factor in the $20 discount from the Advantage plan, compared to the contract offering. Better service, bigger savings. That's today's Appalachian Wireless. Payment agreement required. See store for details.
I'm Dr. Jason Zimmerman at Highlands ARH, the healthcare system of Appalachia.
Whether it's game time, family time, or any kind of fun or hungry time, it's always a perfect time for the party platter from your Sayersville Lee's famous recipe. 20 crispy buffalo wings, 20 hot and spicy wings, fried pickles, cheese sticks, jalapeno poppers, mini corn dogs, jumbo breast strips, and spicy jumbo dippers. It feeds a crowd for only $34.99, and you get $3 off if you call and order one at least a day ahead. It's party time at your Sayersville Lee's.
I'm Bill Tinker. I've spent the past 19 years defending insurance companies in car crashes, truck crashes, and slip and falls. Are you involved in a case like that? Is the insurance company giving you the runaround about your medical bills, your benefits, or your lost wages? Contact me at McFarland Tinker Law Office. With our combined experience of over 58 years, we're here ready to work for you.
From brakes, exhaust, suspension, fluid changes, to expert collision and auto body, to turning your 4x4 or diesel from mild to wild, get real auto maintenance, paint, and repair at Black Smoke Performance in Dixie of Sayersville. 349-8785. We call it the Renaissance Building. It's used for various events, weddings, receptions, birthdays, and the like. Just, of course, 2 doors down or so from the offices here at Your News Today and the Sayersville Independent. But Renaissance, the program in and of itself, well, what is it? Well, a lot of us really not even sure, but they do a lot, and now it's the Main Street program by its main name. And the Kentucky Main Street program is a Main Street America coordinating program, and it's based on a 4-point approach developed by Main Street's America's National Main Street Center. Those 4 components of the program are organization, promotion, design, and economic viability. The goal, simply to encourage downtown revitalization and economic development within the context of historic preservation. The Main Street program helps to lead a powerful grassroots network consisting of over 40 coordinating programs in over 1,200 neighborhoods and communities across the United States committed to creating high-quality places and building stronger communities through preservation-based economic development. Since the late 70s and 79, the Main Street program here in Kentucky has been successful and been a successful addition toward reversing the economic decline in Kentucky's downtowns, both small and large. Participation in this program requires local commitment, financial support as well. A Main Street director administers the program locally through a volunteer board, and the Heritage Council provides technical and design assistance, on-site visits, a resource center, national consultants, and even grant funding when you can get it sometimes. While many cities have seen immediate improvements, the program establishes an effective organization that will continue to monitor and guide revitalization efforts. Here in Sagersville, we do have an active Main Street program. A lot of things happen downtown because of a lot of efforts from this board and this program and their volunteers. And every fall, Main Street Kentucky has a fall conference in a different region. And this year it was to be held in the Eastern Kentucky region. And this year it was held here in Sagersville just yesterday. They were actually in Sagersville, Paintsville, Pikeville, and Beattyville over the course of 2 days. They were here in Sagersville treated to warm hospitality, wonderful meal they said, and a lot of sights of Sagersville, the log cabins, the Gardner Farm, the seasonal shop is where they also toured, and elsewhere. And it was much more than just a lot of fun for these dozens of folks from all over Kentucky.
It's very educational to the other directors because my directors are everywhere from Paducah to Pikeville and Maysville to Middlesboro. So a lot of my directors have never been in Eastern Kentucky before. So it's really important for them to see how other communities function, what their pluses and assets are, and what some of their challenges might be. And then we all work together and offer suggestions or how things might work better. Or we really like to steal things, not physically, but take those ideas to our other communities. Main Street is actually historic preservation that's based in economic development. So we are looking for opportunities for economics in a community. How can we revitalize not only the buildings, but the community itself? And we are the oldest program in the nation. We have been doing this now for 40 years, so we know it works. And it's such a pleasure to work with communities and to see them from struggling perhaps to becoming very successful once again.
In just 2018, there was a cumulative total of over $91 million of investment in downtown commercial districts reported by 29 communities. Now, that was made up of $73 million of private investment, matched by $17 million in public improvements. Statewide, the program cumulatively also generated an impressive 1,078 new jobs in Main Street districts, 130 new businesses created, over 375,000 volunteer hours were invested, and 125 rehabilitation projects were completed.
I've been with the program now 4 years, and Owen Main Street actually became a networking affiliate this year. And in those 4 years, I've been exposed to a lot more of Kentucky from a different perspective and how to tie preservation and economic development together. Where most communities have an economic development department or an organization that handles industrial-based business development, Main Street kind of mirrors those two things together. And I think that a good example right here in this town is Pioneer Village, where you have the preservation of history, but yet it's being utilized today for economic development, for parks and recreation and festivities and activities that the community can enjoy. And that's one of the great things about the program in itself. It opens up the doors to learning other opportunities that we might not see available in our own backyard.
We have a lot to offer here in Sayersville, and I think you all have seen that today.
Well, that's
Absolutely.
the whole point behind the program.
Yeah,
Yes.
it doesn't make a big difference about the size of the city.
Yeah.
It's what you've
It's
done,
what
and
the community does.
honestly, probably here in Sayersville, you're probably getting more bang for your buck, and proportionally, you're doing an amazing job. And then maybe even a bigger city with more funds. I mean, you're utilizing all your resources.
We've been lucky. The mayor's helped us tremendously. We have a great city council, the county judge.
What about that
deputy
county judge you got? Is he okay?
He's okay. He's
There's
okay.
a connection.
No, couldn't help it. Sorry.
It's okay.
One more little tidbit for you on the Main Street program. Nationwide, statistics show that shopping dollars spent downtown have a greater return on investment back into the community. 6 cents of every dollar spent with a big box retailer is retained in a community. 20 cents of every dollar spent with a chain store is retained or recirculated in a community. 60 cents of every dollar spent with a sole proprietorship small business like in downtown Sagersville is retained and recirculated in that community. Big difference, 6 cents to 60 cents. Here's tonight's community calendar. Still got some more headlines to come. Setting property tax rates is what the Paintsville City Council was dealing with earlier this week. But right now, we're dealing with tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau community calendar and a happy birthday. It's actually 2 birthday wishes rolled into one that reads as follows. Happy birthday to Randy Keaton and Patricia. Happy birthday to you both. Happy birthday, Randy Keaton and Patricia, from friends and family. First up, a reminder about a benefit show this Saturday from noon till 8 at the Literal Church at the Twin Bridges on Mine Fork in support of Vanessa Stapleton and her family, who has been moved to a long-term patient care facility in Louisville. All proceeds going to the family for traveling expenses, motel food, and to help with her 2 children. That is from noon until 8 at the Literal Church. Don't forget, this weekend is also the 23rd Annual United Way Golf Scramble at the Paintsville Golf Course. That is actually not this weekend. That is actually day after tomorrow. Wish that was the weekend. Friday, starting at 10 o'clock. The registration starts at 9. Call 791-9902 if you want to register or find out more prior to. The class of 1969 of the Sagersville High School celebrating 50 years at their reunion this Saturday, the 14th at 5 at the old Sagersville High School, of course, or for folks like me, the old Sagersville Grade School building behind the Board of Education. And if you want to learn more about their apprenticeships, they're having an open house later on in October on the 17th, where you can join the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters and learn about their debt-free college degree and career paths. They say don't miss the skills competitions, training center tours, and more. That's 8 till 2 on Carpenter's Way at Grayson. You can RSVP by emailing Kay Conley at ikorccjatf.org. And you can email or Facebook or phone or fax or however you want to get me your calendar announcement, and we'll pass it along to everyone else. Absolutely the best and free way to let everyone know what you have planned, or say happy birthday or anniversary. Lastly, tonight as we go on, we go to tonight's funeral services with one announcement brought to you by the McGoffin County Funeral Home. It's in honor of 65-year-old Charlie Bailey of Southeast Licking River Road, who passed away on yesterday's date. He was the son of Ethel Slusher Clemens and the late Buck Bailey, and married to Linda Prater Bailey, who survives. Surviving also are sons Charlie Scott and Matthew Justin Bailey, and daughter Ramona Wagner, and stepmother Phyllis Marshall. Visitation is tonight and all day tomorrow. Services will start Friday at 1 from the McGoffin County Funeral Home. At Sagersville National Bank, they know your house is much more than your home. It's an investment, and for many of us, the biggest we'll ever make. And whether it's for needed repairs and maintenance, or a new addition or renovation to give you some more room and more equity, let Sagersville National Bank deal with all the financial work and worry. Real and real competitive, hometown, homegrown, home improvement loans at Sagersville National. Just like that, we've jumped into the spring allergy season with all the buds and blooms, tree and grass pollen, mold, and all the nasal congestion, sneezing, itchy nose and eyes and throat that they cause. Don't get caught off guard. Protect yourself daily with a quick trip to Parkway Pharmacy for over-the-counter and prescription relief. And you can always log into parkwaypharmacy.com to have your prescriptions ready when you get there. At Parkway Pharmacy, getting the best deal on the best tires with the best service has never been easier. Just log on to conleytire.net, check out the latest rebates, sales, and promotions, pick out the tires you want, and email, call, or come by. for huge savings from the family who's been proudly serving the area for over 32 years. Conley Tire in Staffordsville, 297-2424. Here's a little of what's new at Parkway Gun and Pawn. A big selection of hunting, bowie knives, some to use, some to collect, or both, starting as low as $14.99 a piece. Hey gamers, while they last, they just got in 2 PS4 Pro editions in perfect condition. And as new, still in the packaging, big flat screens at big discounts. A new selection of kitchen gear and appliances, and even a new in-the-box 30-gallon electric hot water heater. You never know what you're going to save on, but you're always going to save at Parkway Gun and Pawn. Big Sandy Healthcare and Hope Family Medical Center are proud to announce the newest addition to their staff and team of over 200 dedicated employees and medical professionals. Podiatrist Dr. Cheryl Stalder Cheney has joined Big Sandy Healthcare at the Hope Family Podiatry Center in Sagersville on Beriah Boulevard, just a couple of doors up from the Lee's Famous Recipe. For anything minor or serious foot or ankle related, Dr. Stalder Cheney is now accepting new patients at Hope Family Podiatry Center in Sagersville. One of the first items of business during this week's regular session of the Paintsville City Council was an announcement from Mayor Bill Mike Runyon about Governor Bevan being in Paintsville actually this afternoon. He was due to be at the Country Music Highway Museum at 4:30 to make some announcements. I believe that was to be funding announcements for road and blacktop projects in Paintsville and both Johnson County, and it being at 4:30 meant, well, there was just no way I could attend. I can, however, tell you that the governor is to be here in Sagersville for a fundraising event at the Lloyd M. Hall Community Center this Friday starting at 6. Going on with the rest of the coverage from the Paintsville City Council meeting, the next topic of discussion was setting property tax rates. The property tax rate for general property in Paintsville standing at 0.196. The mayor recommending that they raise that essentially 4 thousandths of a point, I believe, to a total of 0.20.
Right here is about the way this works out. If your property assesses for $200,000, then it just costs you another $8 a year. If you break that down into months, that's 67 cents a month.
I'm gonna go back to what I say all the time, though, we're taxed to death in this county and city. I mean, our sewer tax and everything else, it just, I mean, I don't care to approve it and vote for it, but there's gonna have to, that's just like, I don't know where, now I'm not complaining about apartments or anything like that, but I mean, if we have to hire more people to cut back some of the overtime in some of the spots we got, we need to do that. Rather than paying so much overtime. And I mean, I hate to raise taxes when we can maybe hire somebody else to do something. And I don't know anything about that overtime, the way it works in a lot of it.
And after some more discussion, Councilman Tim Hall made a motion to take the mayor's recommendation, but it died for lack of a second, after which Councilman David Van Hoos motioned to leave the tax rate at the same rate it was last year, to which all voted yes. And following that vote, the mayor then made another recommendation pertaining to the vehicle and watercraft tax rates to take it from 0.1148 to a 0.2, after which Councilman Van Hoos again motioned to leave the rate the same as it was the year prior at 0.1148. And all voted yea. There was later an approval for a zoning change, a realty company wishing to take Sue Sherman's old residence and turn it into some office space in the city limits. The council then went into executive session and emerged, and a motion was made with all voting yes to grant the Paintsville Utility Commission authority to condemn a parcel of property on Starfire Hill for the construction of a new water tank. And after a few other items from the council, the meeting was adjourned. And with that, not a lot of changes with your Licking Valley RACC forecast. Of course, it's been 24 hours, so it's been tweaked. A few timing issues, a few temperature issues, but we're still going to be in the 90s through the end of the work week, and a cold front will give us some minor shower chances and a bit of a temperature change thereafter. Upper 80s for your weekend, falling down to the low to mid 80s maybe by the middle of next week. The first or continued chance of those showers, I should say, because some folks have seen a sprinkle or two. I know some folks were hearing a little thunder earlier today, not necessarily over the newsroom, that I can attest to at least, but a 10% chance of showers and thunderstorms ending in the next little while, really by the next hour or so if you're catching the early show for the most part. Otherwise, just partly cloudy and a low of 66 for your Thursday. One day closer to the weekend. We'll see a little patchy fog in the AM lingering till 9. Otherwise, mostly sunny and hot again. Real temperatures right around 92, and it will feel a little more muggy than that. 66 is where we'll go to again tomorrow night, and no sign of showers tomorrow or tomorrow night. Just sunny, partly cloudy tomorrow night. Friday again, mostly sunny and hot. Back into the low 90s we climb, right around 93 degrees. 68 for the low, and a 30% chance of some showers and thunderstorms. The window looks to be reasonably narrow Friday, from 11 o'clock Friday night through about 5 o'clock Saturday morning. So it shouldn't have anything to do with any Friday night football plans or anything of that nature. As for the weekend, we'll back down off of the 90s and see right around 87 degrees, partly sunny on your Saturday. There's a lingering chance, 10% of showers up until like 7 a.m. I didn't even put it on the screen. Not enough to fool with. Don't think it will amount to any more than that, if that. Saturday night, mostly cloudy and 66. Upper 80s again on your Sunday for the latter half of your weekend. At around 89, mostly sunny but dry degrees. Monday, 88, partly sunny. Tuesday, partly sunny and 86. And Tuesday and Wednesday, we do have a 10%, just a 10% chance of some showers. No storms, but a chance of showers. And we'll fall down to 84 by midweek. And I know I said it at the beginning of the program, but let me take one more second and remind everyone that the Tigersville Independent, of course, will hit newsstands tomorrow. One of our primary focal points will be the audits released by the state auditor in regards to the McGoffin County Sheriff's Department, the passing of McGoffin County's biggest and longtime super fan, Jerry Patrick. We'll go back to the Hornet football team of 1995 in our historical page brought to you by Attorney Grover on it. We have a McGoffin County high school student leading the entire state in tackles. That is just barely scratching the surface of what's in tomorrow's paper, and a lot of that you're not going to be able to even find here. So we hope you pick one up, and see you back here tomorrow night for more of your news today at the same time. Thank you, good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.